Hi, my name's Hugh, and I'm one of the co-founders of Bruusta. Firstly, welcome to our community, and thank you for making the purchase and being one of our customers. Today I'm going to show you how to brew. I'm going to demonstrate in a way that offers a few hints, a little bit of advice to make sure that your first brew is a great brew. So what came in the pack? In your box came the base. The base has been brewed and fermented for over 4 to 6 months to make sure it's full of all the right elements to make a delicious, healthy kombucha. Secondly, there's the yeast. I'll show you what we do with that in a minute. And thirdly, there's the purifier. We recommend that before you make your first brew, you run the purifier through the machine and give it a good clean. All the elements come off and can be hand cleaned. Also, at the end of every brew, run the purifier through just to make sure that everything's nice and clean. So let's get brewing. What are we going to do first? First, we're going to check the back of the unit. Why? Because you have a carbonation dial here that's also a pressure release valve. It must be on 5. It must be turned to 5 there on the dial so you can see the arrow pointing at 5. If you don't, some of the liquid will come out through the pressure release valve while you're brewing. So put it on 5. Thank you. Now let's get brewing properly. Take the base, undo the top, pour it into the unit. Fill the unit up to the fill line with water. I use a jug, and I also like to make sure the water's just slightly warm. And the reason for that is the yeast likes to be warm. It likes a little bit of warmth when it gets started. So it will start the process quicker and aid the fermentation. So we've added the water. We now need to add the yeast. Cut the top off, or cut one of the corners off. Pour it into the base and the water. Add the top. The top just screws on really, really simply. And once it's on, you'll see that you can't overscrew it and you can't underscrew it because the handle will fall down into these flanges and be tucked in there neatly and give you a guide as to how to do it. Now we give it a shake. And I like to shake it for 20 seconds, 20 or 30 good shakes. The reason for that is that we want the yeast to be pushed through the liquid in a uniform way so it can start eating those sugars and turning it into carbon. Let's attach it to the dock. This is the brewing dock, which also came in the box. This is really simple. Just turn it upside down. Make sure that the tap is pointing into the gap here, and you can see the machine is at an angle. Apply a bit of pressure, turn to the right, and now your machine is sitting perfectly on the brew dock, and it will start fermenting. It's going to ferment for about 4 days, and you can put it anywhere. I like to make sure it's in a fairly sort of neutral, warm environment so the yeast can keep at that nice temperature and get brewing. And in 4 days' time, all of the sugars and natural sugars within the liquid will have been eaten by the yeast, and carbon, natural carbon, is created at the top. And I'll show you the next process, which is carbonation. Thank you.